AITA for bringing my nephew to lunch with me. A few months back my sill was deboned at light. The person didn't even brake and hit her side of the car going fast. Worse still, she was a new mom of a month. Her injury are awful and included a broken pelvis right after a C-section. He boyfriend bailed on her and the new baby, so my husband with his parents have become full-time caregivers. I often have my nephew with me and acting as primary mother role. My whole family knows this. My sister had a birthday party at a restaurant and I brought my nephew. He wasn't bad or anything, but my sister was mad that I brought a baby to her birthday dinner. My family just told me to give them a heads up in the future because they might want to change plans if a baby is coming. I told them as of right now they should be treating my nephew and I as a package deal because my sil has a long road of recovery ahead of her. My dad told me, "I'm sorry you have to go through this, it isn't right to raise a baby at my age because I'm so young. I'm 24. My response was, "WTF is wrong with you all?" And now everyone acts like I'm out of line and being disrespectful to my family. Info: it was the Cheesecake Factory. AITA for fat shaming my friend's autistic boyfriend? My mom and stepdad had to go see my grandparents because of some emergency, so it was just me, 19F, and my twin siblings, 8F, 8 meters. I had planned on inviting 2 friends and my parents said I still could, so they came. One of my friends brought her boyfriend, Mike. I usually don't mind, the more the merrier, but I'm not a fan of his. He's kind of a dick and blames it on his autism. But I'm not really educated on all that. Anyways, my sister was playing in their playroom but my brother was bored and wanted attention. He's really into having abs and muscles and being strong and he does gymnastics and all that, so he was doing cartwheels and stuff till he got a little dizzy. He sat on my lap and started showing me his arms and asked if his muscles got bigger. He's 8, so he still has little arms, but I said they're totally getting bigger. Mike randomly interrupted to go, "Nah man, you got noodle arms." My brother didn't really catch what he said, so he just brushed him off, but I was upset. Discreetly told him to STFU. But Mike was all like, "What? I'm just telling the truth, he has to do a lot more than that to get some real muscles, noodle-ass kid." I reminded him that my brother is 8, but he said that his age is irrelevant here. My brother then decided to show us another gymnastics move. I think it's a round-off? But he did it and we all clapped for him. Except of course Mike. He went, "That was anticlimactic." He continued with, "No offense, but this is the most unimpressive kid ever. Get out of here with her skinny ass." I was honestly so pissed off at this point that I sarcastically said, "I'd like to see your fat ass try to do what he did." He immediately got upset and his girlfriend gasped like I said something outrageous. Where was her horror when her BF was insulting my kid brother? But Mike got all up in my face about being a bitch before leaving. His girlfriend told me that I went too far since I know he has autism and that she can't believe I fat shamed him when he isn't even that fat. Besides, he isn't wrong and her brother's annoying. My other friend that was there told me that she thinks he was rude, but I did too much. Edit. I may be uneducated, but I'm not stupid. If you're going to DM me anti-autistic people crap, I'm not going to reply because I do not agree with your horrible remarks. My issue is not an excuse for people to be discriminatory towards those with autism. Like many people are saying in the comments, Mike is not a representation of those with autism. Just like how people wouldn't generalize not autistic people based on some assholes. We can all learn here. Thank you to all who provided insight. AITA for being upset with the clothes my granddaughter wore on her way out of the maternity ward? I know it sounds silly, but I would like an outside opinion and accept any judgment. I have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. For all of my grandchildren, I made a knitted clothes and hat for them to come out of the maternity ward. It started with my first grandchild and all the ones that followed. My kids asked me to do it. It is customary in my country for clothes to be a certain color to represent something good, health, peace and protection. I don't do it professionally and I work, so it's something I do in my spare time and it takes months because I do it with all the love and care. Nor do I force my children to accept it. Most ask right after they announce the pregnancy if I can make the clothes. My oldest daughter, I'll call Pam, announced that she was pregnant and asked me to make it for her daughter. We found out later. Clearly I did. She chose the color red and honestly, it was one of the prettiest jobs I've ever done and finished within 7 months of her pregnancy. She gave birth about 20 days ago. My granddaughter was born healthy, perfect and bright. I was heartbroken on the way out of the maternity ward when I found out that my granddaughter would not wear the clothes I made, but one that Pam got from her in-laws from a very expensive brand, Like Gucci. I didn't say anything to her, but in a conversation with my son I just vented that I was heartbroken about it and that I wouldn't have any problems if she didn't ask, and I didn't do it in the sense of exposing my daughter or anything, but just after my son insisted on me talking because he realized that I was a little down. The word spread among my children until it reached Pam in the form of a scolding for someone else. She called me angrily saying that she didn't believe I was jealous of clothes and that her daughter could wear it any time, but that I decided to make this moment about me and not celebrate my granddaughter's life. I'm lost. I'm just heartbroken that I've been making something so lovingly for months for a specific moment and not been told at any point that she wouldn't use it. My family is divided, some criticizing me and others on my side. Ida? Yes, she asked this. I'll give the context better and leave it to you. I stayed with her through delivery and the following 2 weeks. At their request, because my daughter was in pain from the C-section and my son-in-law was taking care of my granddaughter's paperwork, I put the clothes on her. There was a baby suitcase with the sets separated into packages and a label for what they for. There was only one for leave the maternity and there was that clother, and nothing else. I even took a look at the suitcase and asked if it was that package. She confirmed that it was what had this clothes. And no, I didn't comment on anything while I was there, because she was really stressed, tired and didn't need a comment like this. I didn't comment with her and I just commented with my son, because it was an extremely personal thing with no intention of reaching Pam, but the word spread. Ida for throwing my son's Switch in the trash? My daughter May is 13 and has been having the worst mood swings with her periods. She's also had really bad cramping and other issues. She got snippy with my son Mike 9 over being loud while playing Fortnite. Mike decided that his revenge was to throw away my daughter's feminine hygiene products, all of the trash. She went to switch out her pad and Mike threw everything away. I had to make an emergency run to get more pads for my daughter who's already feeling shitty. I hear Mike playing Fortnite on his Switch and laughing with his friends about what he did. I grabbed his Switch and threw that in the trash. He starts crying and my husband is like, really, and took it out of the garbage and told my son he's grounded from the Switch until we decide to give it back. My husband locked it up in a safe in our bedroom and swears he won't give it back, but throwing it away was over the top. I don't think Mike should get it back and it should be given away to someone else, and my husband thinks I'm overreacting, but what our son did was cruel and he should be punished for it, and a loss of his Switch is punishment. Ida for telling my daughter she can't bring her partners to her sister's wedding? My son, 21, has suggested to post here. All names are fake. I 52F have 4 kids, my oldest daughter Carol, 34, Kelly, 25F, Lucy, 24F, and Mark, 21 meters. Since Carol was born I have stayed at home looking after the kids while my husband Derek, 53, provided for the family. I wanted to see my children grow and be there for them for everything they might need. Due to the age gap between my oldest and my youngest kids, Carol and the rest were never close to each other. I let Carol to concentrate on her hobbies and school and looked after the youngest myself. Even my husband insisted to get Carol to babysit and help with them. Later, when the youngest were getting older, I encouraged them to choose the hobbies and careers they were interested in, and we helped them to go to uni and fully paid for their education. A few years ago Kelly came out to me as being polyamorous. It is something Lucy and Mark knew since Kelly was in college, but she wanted me to know too. It is a lot to take in, as Derek and I both come from very traditional families, but I did my best to support my daughter and learn more about my daughter's orientation. We have also discussed about her coming out to her father, but my husband would never understand it, and he previously said he finds the entire concept of poly disgusting when we tried to talk to him. Now Carol is getting married to a large, very traditional family too, her own choice, and is planning to take over some of her in-laws' business and help with it. Her fiancé family is paying for the wedding and they have over 1,000 guests invited, including a lot of business partners and work colleagues. As a result, each of my kids also received an invitation for A+1 to bring to the wedding. And it didn't sit well with Kelly. Kelly wants to bring several of her partners to the wedding as they are all very important to her and essentially come out as poly at her sister's wedding. I have told her she can't do that. If she wants to come out she can, but not during her sister's special day, and since her sister is not aware about Kelly being poly, she should discuss with her if it is okay to bring several partners. Kelly was not happy with that and called me an asshole for playing favorites when I'm just trying to look after all my children. Lucy and Mark agree with Kelly and believe I should stop intervening and let Kelly do what she feels is right, but I don't want this to cause a rift between my children. Ida? Edit. I was advised to add this to the post. Kelly has a primary partner of 4 years who she has been bringing to all the family events. There was a time when he was out of town and Kelly wanted to bring a different partner, but I had to explain unless she comes out before that and explains what being poly is, it will make the entire family feel very awkward the next time she brings her primary partner around. From what I have heard, she also brings her primary partner to work-related events, hence why I don't really see why she feels the need to bring several partners to the wedding when it wasn't the case before.